Hey, what up, boxing fans? This is the Rope But Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. I'm back with another upload live stream is what I meant. We're going upstream, which is never easy. Anyway, speaking of never being easy going upstream, Glowacki here is in tough. He's in tough against Usyk. And this video is a preview video. Still going back and forth on this one. I really don't know who's going to come out on top of this one. This is going to be September 17th from Poland. It's a big fight at the cruiserweight division. Um, really looking forward to this one. No doubt about it. Krzysztof Glowacki versus Alexander Usyk. And Usyk, his pedigree, like many Eastern Europeans, I think he's from the Ukraine. This fight will be in Poland, where Glowacki is from. Usyk comes in with a really strong amateur pedigree. No doubt about it. Some people thought that he was the best amateur coming out at the time he came out with all his many achievements in the sport at that level. No doubt about it. He has 9 pro fights, 9 knockouts. Hasn't really faced, anyone thus far, obviously, with only 9 fights. So there is a little bit, of a worry as far as will he be able to go the distance. He does have a lot of experience in the World Series of boxing, which will come in handy, no doubt about it. It should anyway, right? So I'm really looking forward to this one, man. Really looking forward to this one. And obviously, if you look at Glowacki, I mean, this guy, the last 2 fights, talking about making a statement, his last 2 fights have been just a blast to watch. Both of them in the United States. Like I said, he will be going back to, the homeland there in Poland for this fight. It's at the Egro Arena, Egro Arena in Poland. Last, well, I say last August, but that would be, it's September now. I got to remember. 2 Augusts ago, Glowacki made his U.S. debut against Marco Huck, who was actually challenging for, I think the record or to tie the record. I think to tie the cruiserweight defense record. I believe that's what was at stake there against Huck. And Glowacki, man, he put on a display of toughness, heart, and power. Obviously, you know what I mean? He started out very well in that fight. First couple of rounds I gave to him, just nice steady pressure going to the body and upstairs as well. Kind of stunned Huck early in that fight with a couple of nice right hands. I believe there was a right hook to the temple area that stunned him. I believe that was the first round. Then Huck, rounds 3 to 6 definitely took over the fight. And in the 6th round, there was a left hook that landed, and it badly hurt Glowacki. I mean, I recall him, and, it could have landed. I don't remember where it landed, if it was on the ear or on the weird side of the head or the forehead, but I remember him holding his head. And I remember thinking, man, he got hit really hard on that one, and he went down hard. Got up, and the first thing he did was just blast Marco Huck with a right hand and showed that he's not going anywhere. And he proceeded to win the next round after that. Huck kind of took back over the action. Glowacki grabbed it back. He was cut. He was getting outworked. Combinations by Huck was really, lighting him up. But then there was a left hook in a right hand that was kind of on the top of the forehead. I'm looking at my notes now, getting a little better detail with that. That caused the knockdown, and you could tell. Okay, well, man, Huck looks pretty. He looks pretty hurt. looked like I wasn't sure if he could make it or if it was just a really solid punch, but it looked like, man, it's the 11th round, dude. Are you going to be able to hang on or even get out of this round? And sure enough, another left hand knocks him basically through a chunk of the ropes. Um, and Hook made the mistake, which a lot of fighters do, pulling straight back, and Glowacki made him pay for it. It was a great, great fight. One of the best fights of 2015, especially in comeback style. Then he fought in April in a spirited fight with the veteran Steve Cunningham. He knocked Cunningham down several times. I don't have my notes. I think I don't know what happened to that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if the paper fell out or what, but I don't have any notes on that. I can't find the notes. I looked for it before the video. But anyway, that was a fun fight. And Cunningham, I guess you can't say he's completely chinny because he keeps getting up and coming back stronger. So he's not completely chinny where he's just going to get finished every time, but definitely, he hits the canvas time and time again and makes it hard on him. And he was winning plenty of rounds. It's just he would get knocked down. It kind of played out, in a sense anyway, somewhat similar to that fight with Tomas Adamek, that first fight where he had a lot of success, but he kept hitting the canvas. So Glowacki, a couple of times, I think he got a little buzzed from a shot here and there. Nice right hands, overhand rights and stuff, but the guy just has a way to keep weathering the storm. And I think Glowacki's going to have to do that in this one too. He's going to have to weather the storm because much like the Hook and Cunningham fights, my guess is, I know he's going to be in Poland, but my guess is that it won't. He might be down on the scorecards on this one. Judging by some longtime media members and fight fans, a lot of people favor Usyk on this one, and I can't blame him. I mean, like I said, that pedigree and the fact that he was able to, take the headgear off in those World Series boxing, matches, that really helps him. That helps him at least adjust. I know there's still bigger gloves, but I think it does help him. And if you look at, you kind of had to go back and look at some of those amateur fights, like against Beterbiev, against Joe Joyce from the UK. So I looked back at that. The pro fight I think I did watch, I think it was a pro fight, Pedro Rodriguez. And for me in there, I did see some flaws that potentially Glowacki could take advantage of. If you look at the reach, clearly the taller, longer Usyk, definitely. He's 6'3", 78-inch reach, compared to 6 foot 75 inches for Glowacki. And just kind of breaking down each guy's style, Glowacki is pretty much going to come at you. He likes straight or overhand rights, a lot of looping shots. He's got a really nice left hook. I say he's just a pressure, aggressive guy, but he can do it somewhat responsibly. I'm not saying that he's not there to be hit. He keeps somewhat of a tight guard, but he gets hit plenty. But as far as at times, like when both fighters are punching, I think he responds well in that situation, and I think that's going to be a key for him because I did see some holes in Usyk's inside game. I saw a lot of positives on the inside, and we'll see because, if you're not fighting a top-level guy, sometimes you fall into some habits just because you could take the guy's shot. So obviously both these guys look to be very strong and powerful. No doubt about it. We know Glowacki's got plenty of power, and it would look like Usyk does too. Like I said, all 9 of his knockouts, or 9 of his fights ended in knockout. He's pretty, for a big guy, and I'm telling you, this cruiserweight division, the last handful of years, this thing has been fun. It's very underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it, but man, this cruiserweight division, and actually Lebdev in who am I thinking about? The guy he has a candidate for knockout of the year. I was at the fight. I can't remember. Oh, Gassiv. I think it's Gassiv. Um, that's a fight coming up here shortly as well this year. So anyway, I think Usyk is very light on his feet. He's got good lateral movement. He likes to stick his jab out there. Um, he uses his left hand a lot, whether it's a straight left or a counter left. I wouldn't doubt that he would use the looping left to go along with it. It seems to be like a good weapon to use against Glowacki. Um, in the pros, I have noticed, and once again, this could be just the competition. It could be, making those adjustments that you make style wise from both two. It could be a combination of both. But I notice he's a tad flat footed, a little bit more flat footed thus far, anyway, in the pros. He does move his head pretty good. Seems to be a decent body puncher as well, or I shouldn't even say decent. I should say a very good body puncher. And just looking at the Beterbiev fights, he definitely showed a lot of skill in those from the outside, and it just was active in combination and then able to dip out of there. In that Joyce fight, he was landing straight left hands and right hooks. Didn't show as smooth a footwork with no headgear, but still effective. Against, wrong note. That was for that Pedro Rodriguez fight. There was times where maybe his right hand was a little too low, and maybe there's a potential that his guard can get a little high. And, it's good to protect the face, but he's got that long body. And my guess is Glowacki will try to chop that tree down. So that's something to look for. When he's throwing that jab, does he bring it back all the way? And overall, does he hold it high? We see a lot of, with the lead hand, we see a lot of low lead hands nowadays in general. So it could be just a natural thing. You know what I mean? That we see with a lot of fighters. But that high guard, that potential high guard, I could see him. I could see Glowacki taking advantage of that. He seems to be able to return fire. He's pretty sharp that way. On the inside, at times though, on the inside, and this is something I saw in that Pedro Rodriguez fight. He showed some flaws inside the pocket. To me, without that headgear, like I said, a little flat-footed, not as smooth as his footwork. But also, he was still effective with the counter, but sometimes he kind of wing his shots back, trying to just land a power shot rather than something that's going to be more accurate. So maybe that might get him into trouble, just kind of winging a shot back. He did kind of duck his head nicely and throw it, but sometimes it just wasn't as smooth. But overall, this has got just action fight written all over it. Neither guy has lost as a pro, and obviously, like I said, the pedigree of Usyk. I mean, he should. Let's just put it this way: if he has a chin with those 10-ounce gloves, right? Which, like I said, having already fought in the World Series of Boxing, that helps. I know that those are a little bigger gloves, but still, it helps. And also, the 12 rounds. Not to say this fight will go 12 rounds. I'm not sure it does. But can he go all that way when even if he looks faded, there's times in both the Hook and the Cunningham fight where Glowacki looked a little faded, like he was just wearing down a little bit, but he finds the second win and his power stays with him. Definitely. So, on paper, and obviously the eye test as a pro to an extent, Um, he should be able to have similar, if not more, success on the outside as Huck and Cunningham did. I really don't see why not. I think he's actually better on the outside than Hook. Cunningham's pretty good out there as well. And that's the stuff we don't necessarily always know when we get to this pro level. Cunningham wins a ton of rounds and shows a ton of heart, but then gets knocked down to the canvas. And like I mentioned earlier, that's kind of in between to say he's chinny. It really matters you're no chin or chinny. I mean, Marquez, as he had to go up in weight, and also fought a different style, a little bit more aggressive style. He started hitting the canvas a lot more too, but then would win the fight or show his worth after that. So to me, I think stylistically, this thing matches up to be a fight of the year candidate. And September is just chock full of fun fights. It really is. So I'm really excited. I got a lot of work to do as far as doing some research on a couple of these guys, just to kind of go back the Richard Comey fight with Robert Easter Jr. I gotta look more into that. Gonzalez's opponent as well. I've only seen him fight a couple times, but anyway, let's get back to this. I'm back and forth on this. Right now, I'm leaning Usyk. I am. I did lean Hook, as well. And I think if Glowacki wins this fight, it will be from behind, I guess you could say. And I know it is in Poland, so maybe it won't on the scorecards. Possibly it won't be come from behind. I'm not really saying on the scorecards per se, but as far as just watching the fight and seeing, what's taking place, my guess is that Usyk he's going to build a decent lead there. But who knows? You know what I mean? I'm just looking forward to this fight, really hoping that Showtime International or what is it, AWE, somebody picks it up here in the States. Really, really wanting that. But either way, I'm a hardcore fight fan, so I'm going to watch it one way or the other. But anyway, that's all I got for you on this fight. I'm really looking forward to this. And like I said, the cruiserweight division, man, it is on and popping. Like, there's been so many fights over the years. There's actually a cruiserweight fight up for fight of the year this year. And no one's really talking about that one. But anyway, go ahead and give me a follow at Rope-A-Dope Radio on Twitter. You can check out the Rope-A-Dope Radio podcast on iTunes. Also, blogtalkradio.com/Rope-A-Dope Radio. You can check that out every Wednesday. Slow weekend coming up this weekend, but like I said, September is just chock full of great matches. You guys enjoy the holiday weekend and just enjoy the weekend overall across the world. Peace.